First thing that we need to do before we start working on our home page is to get our location. We need to get our location in our app.json. So right here at the top, what we need to do, we need to create some state variables. So we're going to have quite a few. So the first one that we're going to take care of is location, and we need set location. So here we're going to use date, and our initial state value is going to be null, like that. So that's going to be our first. Let's bring this down. Right at the bottom, we're going to require another one, and this one is going to be for the address. We need to use the address inside our toolbar or app bar, something like that. So we need these state variables first because we need to use these state variables alongside with our context providers. Okay, set address. So now that we have these, what we can do here, we need to import these contexts, one for user location and the other one for the address, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, not really. What we need to do here first, let's go up here. We need to wrap our application with our user location context, like that. Okay, so let's go ahead, cut everything from here, and we're going to paste it here. Let's format the code. So here it's supposed to be context dot provider, like that, but we don't have this context as yet, so we need to go ahead and take care of our context. Okay, so we need to do it manually. It has to be dot provider right at the bottom as well. So the error is gone, but here we need something, is it? So if it is location, we're going to pass the location that we just created right on top, the state variable that we created on top, and we also need to pass set location. Okay, we need to pass these two, and they have to be in double braces like this, but we don't have this user location as yet. So what we can do, we can come right at the top. So we're going to import user location context. So it's going to come from the context folder. Inside the context folder, we have to map it to user location context. Okay. Okay, so it has to be in braces for it to work. So we need to put it in braces. So that's how we import. So what we're doing here, we're going to create a function to get, we're going to get user location in use effect right at the bottom, and we're going to set it to this value. After it's set to this value, and it's going to be passed to our context using this user location context provider. All right, then we can access it anywhere else. And if there is a change in location somewhere, then we can use this value to set the location from anywhere else in the application, and it can be stored in our location value. Okay, so here I'm going to close this, and I'm going to use effect after fonts loading. Use effect. So for use effect, let's just make the layout first, and then here and here, right? So we need a function to get location, but first we have this default address. So this address, we can get the address where the user is after we get the location. So we should have a default value first. All right, so we need to also set this default address and pass it to our application here. So we're going to wrap our routes with another context provider, and this one is going to be different. It's going to be this one, a user reversed geocode. Okay, so we're going to go with user reversed geocode, right? That's the one that we're going to use. So it's the one that's inside. So we have address here, and we have set address. Let's get rid of that. So it's going to be like that. Let's format our code, and we need to import this because we haven't imported it right at the top. So let's just close here, and here we're going to import reverse geocode and it's going to come from our contexts like that. So we need to set it here. Okay, so if we have to set it in our use effect, that's the first thing that we're going to do. So we're going to set address. Okay, once we set address, we need to provide the address that we need to set. So we're going to use the default address. Okay, so here we have our default address, and it's being passed to our application, to all the pages in our application. So let's take, for example, we want to use this address. What we should just do is to go ahead to the page that we want to use it, and then we're going to extract the context of this file, and then we are going to just print. That's what we're going to do now, and then we can go ahead and just finish up on everything. So first, let's just go to our home page. In our home page here, what we're going to do, we're going to have consts, we're going to have address, set address, okay, is equals to, it has to come from, we have to use contexts hook to access our contexts. And in here, inside the bracket, we have to mention the name of the context that we want to consume. So in this instance, we're going to consume user reverse geolocation. Okay, this is the context that we are consuming in here. So if I just come down below here and say print, not print, but log address, I'm supposed to get the address that I've set inside of our app.js. Okay, so this is the address that we have here. So our data is being passed to this page. Okay, so if we take a look right into our terminal, so we have city, Shanghai, country, China, district, Pudong, then we have ISO country code. So if we go to our app.js and go to our default address, this is the same data that we're passing as a default address. Okay, so we're done with that part. Next, let's focus on getting the user location and setting it into our user location context. The extraction method is the same for all our context. If you want to use context, we're going to use context hook to retrieve that context, and then we can do whatever we want with the data.